Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Jadon Sancho is finished at Manchester United, even if he apologizes to Erik ten Hag. Jadon Sancho's Manchester United career is over, even if the player were to perform a dramatic U-turn and issue an apology to Erik ten Hag, according to a new report. Sancho was banished from the senior squad and banned from accessing all first-team areas after he effectively branded Ten Hag a liar on social media. On September 3, Ten Hag told the media that Sancho was axed from the matchday squad that faced Arsenal due to his poor training performances. In response, the player released a strongly worded statement on social media refuting his manager's remarks. Sancho also accused Ten Hag of making him a scapegoat. When asked to apologize, the England international refused, hence his axing from the team. The 23-year-old has been training with the youngsters and will only be reintegrated into the senior setup if he publicly apologizes to the United boss and his coaching staff. Sancho, meanwhile, remains adamant that he did nothing wrong. A report covered by the People's Person revealed that the winger's close confidants have unsuccessfully tried to appeal to him and convince him to atone for his mistakes, but Sancho has so far proved resistant. It's looking increasingly likely that a solution is not forthcoming, and already it has been suggested that a January exit for the forward is on the cards, with the likes of Borussia Dortmund and Juventus interested in his services. According to the Mirror, it's now almost certain that Sancho will not play for United again while Ten Hag is at the helm. Simon Mullock reveals Jadon Sancho is finished at Manchester United, even if the £73 million winger swallows his pride by apologising to Erik ten Hag. Mullock adds that if Sancho moves on loan basis, United would be forced to cover some of his mega wages. Ten Hag views Sancho's rebellion as a significant test of his authority and will not waver on his ambition to enhance standards at United. Erik ten Hag praises Harry Maguire after Man United's win versus Sheffield. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag heaped special praise on Harry Maguire following the club's 2-1 Premier League win over Sheffield United on Saturday evening. The Red Devils had a slow start against the Blades at Bramall Lane, but they opened the scoring against the run of play through Scott McTominay in the 28th minute. McTominay soon turned villain by gifting a penalty to the host. Oliver McBurney levelled the proceedings from the penalty spot just 6 minutes after United took the lead. United were twice denied the winning goal by the woodwork, but they secured 3 points in the end after a wonderful strike from Diogo Dalot from the edge of the box. Dalot made the difference for the Red Devils, but it was Maguire who was handed the man of the match after an impressive defensive display, particularly after the break. The England centre-back has had a tough start to the campaign. He was initially a regular on the bench until the injury concerns for Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Against his former club, the 30-year-old delivered his best performance in a while. Maguire had 106 touches with 79 accurate passes. He managed 12 successful long balls. Defensively, he won 6 ground and aerial duels. He made 2 clearances and blocked 3 shots. It was a top-notch showing from the former captain, and Ten Hag praised him after the game. He told ManUnited.com, "I have to say to Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans as well, but Harry, he is playing like we want him to play, very proactive, out of possession, dominating his opponent, stepping in when necessary, reading the game, but also in possession, very proactive, stepping in, delivering good passing, vertical passing, good switches. I am happy with his performance." United will be in the Champions League action in midweek. They host Copenhagen on Tuesday. The game is a must-win for them, having failed to pick up a point from the opening two group matches. Varane should return to the starting lineup after his injury comeback. He could be accompanied by Maguire on the back of his impressive outing against the Blades away from home. 27-year-old serial struggler had arguably his best game in a United shirt versus Sheffield. Last night's win at Sheffield United is hopefully set to be a turning point for one Manchester United man. Erik Haag will be mightily happy with the first fixture back from the international break as the Red Devils ran out 2-1 winners over Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. A serial struggle at United so far this season is definitely Onana, but he did himself a lot of favours with last night's performance. The Cameroonian shot-stopper was very solid throughout. He only conceded via a penalty and made some crucial saves, which eventually helped propel United to a much-needed victory. It was arguably his best performance in a United shirt so far, backed up by some very decent stats: 5 saves, 2 high claims, 2 saves from inside box, 40 touches. The Manchester Evening News also highlighted Onana's decent game in goal. They gave him a 7 out of 10, which is very different to some of his ratings this season. Andre Onana overcame a knock to make a couple of decent stops in the first half and made an unconventional save early in the second half, they wrote. Last night was hopefully more of a sign of things to come for Onana. It was arguably the biggest risk United have taken in years to ditch David De Gea and bring him in, and so far has proven all his doubters right. Last night's game, despite nothing sensational, will hopefully change the trajectory of his season. He is capable of so much more, and we haven't even begun to see half of what the 27-year-old has to offer. Diogo Dalot stars for Man United in 2-1 win versus Sheffield United. Manchester United defender Diogo Dalot delivered a quality performance as the club secured back-to-back wins in the Premier League. The Red Devils faced Sheffield United on the road last evening. The first half was quite even between the clubs before Scott McTominay opened the scoring for United. However, they could not maintain their lead. For the 6th occasion this season, United managed to surrender their advantage within 6 minutes of finding the net. United were twice denied by the woodwork at 1-1, but they secured 3 points in the end after a powerful strike from the edge of the box from Dalot in the 77th minute. The Portuguese had an indifferent start where he was guilty of losing possession in either half, but he improved after the break and made the difference for United. Aside from his match-winning goal, the €40 million rated star had 73 touches with 37 accurate passes. He won 6 ground and aerial duels and completed 100% of his take-ons, 2 out of 2. The Red Devils were not at their best at Bramall Lane yesterday, but they picked up a valuable win to maintain their 5-point deficit to the Champions League positions. The club have won successive league games, and the focus will now turn to Tuesday's Champions League group stage clash against Copenhagen at home, which is a must-win. United are on 0 points after their opening 2 group games and can't afford to drop more points in midweek. It should be a routine win for them with home advantage. This will be followed by the first Manchester derby of the season at Old Trafford next week, and United need to go into the Manchester City clash in the best frame of mind. Paul Mitchell, front-runner for Manchester United sporting director role. Former Tottenham Hotspur head of youth scouting Paul Mitchell has been heavily linked to a sporting director role at Manchester United over the last few days. According to The Telegraph, Paul Mitchell is the early front-runner to be appointed sporting director at Man United under the new ownership of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe is close to buying 25% of the club and will take over the sporting matters at Man United Dan Ashworth is another candidate for this high profile position. However, his arrival seems unlikely as he recently took over the director of football role at Newcastle United. Mitchell is known as a recruitment expert in Europe. He has enjoyed successful spells at Monaco, Tottenham, Red Bull Group, and Southampton. He is credited with signing great talents like Sadio Mane and Dusan Tadic at Southampton. Mitchell also brought Son and Toby Alderweireld to Spurs. Man United could be an attractive destination for the 42-year-old. It's one of the biggest clubs in Europe and could offer funds to meet his ideas. Ratcliffe wants to bring in a new sporting director after his takeover. This could be the start of restructuring in the sporting matters of the club. The club has not been run properly over the last few years. This has affected their performances on the pitch, with United making multiple managerial changes after Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement. Mitchell has a great eye for talent and could play a key role in improving the club's recruitment strategy. Graham Potter in running to become Manchester United manager if Sir Jim Ratcliffe gets rid of Erik ten Hag. Former Chelsea manager Graham Potter is keeping an ear out for Manchester United to call, according to The Sun. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's team is expected to take charge of the Red Devils after the British billionaire agreed a £1.35 billion deal for a 25% share of the Old Trafford club. Ratcliffe's sidekick, Sir Dave Brailsford, who is set to be the football face of the partial takeover and tipped to become Man United CEO, admires Potter and was keen to bring him to Nice. Their current manager, Erik ten Hag, could come under pressure in the coming weeks and months if the results do not change after the Red Devils suffered their worst league start since 1989, following a run of 4 defeats in their opening 7 games. Man United have since bounced back with back-to-back Premier League victories over Brentford and Sheffield United. However, all their 5 wins in 23-24 have been by a narrow 1-goal margin, and Ratcliffe could decide to get rid of the Dutchman if their fortunes do not improve on the pitch. However, whether Potter has what it takes to take the Red Devils to the next level is up for debate. While the 48-year-old was dubbed one of the best managers by Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola in November 2022 for the good job he did with Brighton and Hove Albion, he failed to inspire Chelsea during the 8 months he spent at Stamford Bridge. The Blues lost 11 of 31 games with Potter in charge, and he left with the lowest points per game return of any Chelsea manager. The former Swansea City boss is also on the radar of Napoli, but appointing him would be a huge gamble as he is yet to prove himself at a big club, and managing Man United has proven difficult for some big managers since Sir Alex Ferguson left in 2013. Sacha Bowie, the favourite name on Man United's list as scouts are sent to watch Galatasaray star. Manchester United have reportedly joined a number of Premier League clubs closely tracking Sacha Bowie with a view to possibly signing the player. A previous report covered by the People's Person noted United's interest in Bowie. It was said that the Red Devils were set to intensify their efforts to sign the Galatasaray defender, who was the subject of a rejected summer bid from Arsenal. Photosport have given an update and indicated that United are not the only party keen on landing Bowie. Brighton, Burnley, and of course Arsenal are also admirers of the 23-year-old. It's understood that ahead of Galatasaray's game against Besiktas on Saturday, United have sent scouts to watch Bowie and compile reports on his performance. Photosport explained that while there is a strong chance there are other stars of interest to the United scouts, Bowie is the favorite name on their list. Representatives from Spanish, French, and Italian clubs are also expected to be in attendance for the high-stakes Super League clash. So far this season, Bowie has scored 1 goal in 16 appearances. His performances have alerted big clubs in Europe who are constantly on the hunt for the best upcoming talent. The Frenchman's main point of attraction lies in his versatility. In addition to playing as a right back, Bowie can operate in the right wing back role and, if required, can slot in at central defense. United have struggled with multiple injuries to key members of the club's backline, and it makes sense that they are looking for clever solutions such as Bowie. Fabrizio Romano on Man United transfer plans as scouts spotted at La Liga game. Manchester United have apparently had scouts at a La Liga game this weekend, with Fabrizio Romano responding to reports of Red Devils figures being present for the game between Real Sociedad and Mallorca. Writing in his exclusive column for the Daily Briefing, Romano said it's normal for top clubs like Man United to have scouts at a number of games, but that he hasn't heard anything specific about this match or any of the players who were involved. Real Sociedad in particular have some fine players on their books, with Kubo, Zubimendi, and Arsene Zakarian, perhaps the standout names who might be of interest to a club like United. Still, Romano insists it's still a bit early to know the Red Devils' January plans, as much of it will hinge on what happens with the unsettled Jadon Sancho and with the injured Lisandro Martinez and his potential return fitness, Romano said. It's been reported that Manchester United had scouts at the game between Sociedad and Mallorca, but I haven't heard anything about specific players on my side. Of course, top clubs sends their scouts to 4 or 5 games every week, so it's something normal. In terms of United January plans, we'll have to see what happens with Jadon Sancho and with Lisandro Martinez injury recovery to understand what steps they will take next. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.